Hello, boys and girls. It's your old pal, Andy France, Grand Poobah of Judson Sunday School, and welcome to another episode of Virtual Judson Sunday School. Virtual. How are you? I hope you're doing well. It was great to hear from so many of you this week. I think I can sum up your feelings about life right now in one word. Are you ready? Bored. Although maybe not so bored this week now that you're back in virtual school. I hope you're doing well. Meanwhile, life is going on. We've had, a friend of mine had a baby this week. People are getting sick, but they're getting better. And a good friend of ours had a birthday. Sebastian Funderburg turned 19 years old. Yes, it's been that long since we were together. Not really. He's only 9 years old. I wonder if you'll join me in wishing Sebastian a happy birthday on the count of 3. Are you ready? Let's send it through the internet. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Sebastian. Good. It is just late March. We have things to do this coming week and in the months to come as we prepare for Kids Day. I'd like to ask you a favor this week. I know that you are all great stand-up comedians because I've seen you perform on the Judson Weekend Retreat every fall for years. This coming Wednesday is April Fool's Day, and I have an idea about next Sunday's virtual Sunday school in which I'd love to incorporate your jokes. So would you do me a favor? Find your best joke. Ask your parents to film you on their phone and email it to me, andrewfrance1@gmail.com. And we'll see if we can't incorporate your jokes into next week's service as we celebrate laughter and April Fool's Day and things like that. Not too long on the jokes, just one. I know you all have at least 25 of them memorized and ready to go at the drop of a hat. So if you'll do that for me, I'd appreciate it. Kids Day, June 14th. Seems like a long way away, but we should be practicing because, we don't have that many Sundays to go, and soon we'll all be together again. So we're going to practice our song Manhattan, as we would do any normal service or any normal Sunday on the blanket in the garden room. We have been singing the back half of the song. It's probably about time that we learned the actual song, Manhattan, rather than just the part we made up. So if you will get out your picture version or your regular printed lyrics if you're a reader, and I'm going to hold up the pictures and we're going to just talk our way through. You already know the melody, but we'll talk our way through the pictures and then we'll sing it one time through, okay? If you want to keep practicing the second half of the song, you're welcome to do that. You could just probably refer to last week's virtual Sunday school class, all right? So here we go with Manhattan. Summer journeys. There's a kid strapped to the top of a car. Summer journeys to Niagara Falls, and to other places aggravate all hourglass, our cares. Let me turn the page, picture kids. Wheel, save, a piggy bank, our fairs. There's the summer fairs. Won't those be nice to go to again? I've a cozy, there's a tea cozy, Stuart Little. I've a cozy little flat in what is known as Old Manhattan. The no sign and an in. Known Old Manhattan. Wheel settled, some old settlers there, down. Turn the page, picture kids. Right here in town. And then the big part of the song. We'll have, there's that guy carving somebody in half. We'll have Manhattan, the Bronx. There's Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Oh, baseball, I miss you so much. We'll have the Bronx and Staten Island, too. Turn the page. It's lovely going through. He just threw what I assume is a water balloon. It's lovely going through the zoo. It's very There's our old friend, Joali, who was in love with the word very on one Sunday at Judson and decided to write it a gazillion times. It's very fancy on Old D. Lancey. I'm really proud of this one. The letter D, a lance with a knight, C Street. On Old D. Lancey Street, you know, turn the page, the subway charms us so. Our old friend, the alligator sewing. When the runner wins the race, ball me, despicable me. Breezes blow to and fro. There's the mayor's son with the big afro, to and fro. And tell me what street, turn the page, compares, the lady's saying to the dog, compares with Mott Street in July, sweet pushcarts gently gliding by. School buses, one day. The great big city, there's Tony the Tiger saying great, big the movie, the great big cities, a wondrous, Wonder Woman, wondrous toy. Remember F.A.O. Schwartz? Turn the page. Justice League, just made, there's a maid for a girl and boy. We'll turn Manhattan into an aisle. There's a movie aisle, an aisle of joy. How's that? Let's sing it together. You already know the melody. We'll take it slow today, and then we'll speed it up in the weeks to come. Ready? Summer journeys to Niagara and to other places aggravate all our cares. Turn the page. We'll save our fares. I've a cozy little flat in what is known as Old Manhattan. We'll settle down, turn the page, right here in town. We'll have Manhattan, the Bronx and Staten Island too. Turn the page. Oh, I gotta lick my fingers, sorry about that. It's lovely going through the zoo. It's very fancy on Old Delancey Street, you know. Turn the page. The subway charms us so when balmy breezes blow to and fro. And tell me what street, turn the page, compares with Mott Street in July. Sweet push carts gently gliding by. The great big city's a wondrous toy. Turn the page. Just made for a girl and boy. We'll turn Manhattan into an aisle of joy. Seems weird to be singing about Manhattan right now when everything's shut down. But we're learning the song, and soon it'll all be open again, and we'll have a blast together. All right? Thanks. So I guess all of you know that New York City is the cultural capital of the world. We have the greatest museums, concert halls, we have theaters, we have loads of movie theaters, all of which are closed right now. But I don't want you to miss out on culture. As some of you may or may not know, I am a man of enormous culture. Oh, it's true, it's true. I have so much culture. I've got culture coming out of my ears. So I thought I would share a couple of poems with you this morning. The first, well, both of them are by Ken Nesbitt. Parents, you can find Ken Nesbitt's poetry at poetryforkids.com. There's great stuff there. But I thought I hope this first poem isn't too highbrow for you. I'll read it to you. It's called, I Stuck My Finger Up My Nose. I stuck my finger up my nose to see what it contained. I found a bunch of crazy things that cannot be explained. I found a dozen rubber bands. I found a piece of string. I found my missing basketball. I found a playground swing. I found a giant pot of gold. I found a sailing boat. I found an ancient castle with a drawbridge and a moat. I found a hairy mastodon. I found a purple car. I found an earthbound starship from a not-too-distant star. But now, despite the awesome stuff I found inside my snout, I wish I'd never poked in there. My finger won't come out. My second poem is called Rapunzel, Rapunzel, another one by Ken Nesbitt. I'd like to dedicate this to a special visitor. I got a few videos from you last week. One of the videos came from Madeline, and I noticed that she had some special guests attending our virtual Sunday school, one of which was Elsa. Elsa, we're so happy to have you at Judson Sunday School. What Madeline may not know, as young as Madeline is, but some of you might recall, several years ago, I dressed up as Elsa for Halloween. I was a gorgeous Elsa. Oh, goodness. Complete with a cigar. It was Elsa the later years. I don't think Mira Wolf has gotten over this yet. So here's our next reading. I'll dedicate it to Elsa. It's called Rapunzel, Rapunzel. Rapunzel, Rapunzel, you've cut off your hair. Your billowing tresses are no longer there. That mohawk you're sporting is spiky and pink. I'm really not certain just what I should think. I came here expecting to clamber a braid, ascending your tower to come to your aid. Instead, I have suffered the greatest of shocks to find that you've cut off your lovely blonde locks. Prince Charming, Rapunzel replied, I have no intention of being your bride. We will not get married. We will not elope. I've cut off my hair and I've braided a rope. You came here to visit me once every day and promised that soon you would take me away. But you were too clueless to even conceive of cutting my hair off so we could just leave. I cannot believe you were such a big dope. I come and I go as I please with my rope. And so I'm afraid I can't give you my hand in spite of the fabulous wedding you planned. From then on, Rapunzel was known through the land. She toured the world in a rock and roll band, and silly Prince Charming, with rocks in his head, rode off and got married to Snow White instead. I have been thinking about poetry this week because a good poem can do so many things. It can make us laugh. It can bring us to tears. It can cause us to think or comfort us and lift our spirits when we're not feeling all that well. People have been listening to poetry and writing poetry and reciting poetry for centuries. In fact, thousands of years ago, people would write poems about God, which they called psalms, P-S-A-L-M-S, psalms. Many of these psalms were collected and put into a book called the Book of Psalms, which they eventually stuck into the middle of the Bible, which is where you can find psalms today. I want to read a few of them for you this morning. What I love about the Psalms is that though they might be as old as religion itself, they can be remarkably timely, expressing many of the same feelings that you and I are feeling today. And again, though they are old, what all of the psalmists have in common is that shared belief that no matter what they were going through, God was with them in their journey. Translated into English, psalms don't necessarily rhyme. They don't have names like Rapunzel, Rapunzel. They have numbers instead. I'd like to read a few of them for you this morning. This is from a collection called Psalms for Young Children by Marie Helena Delval, if I pronounced that right. Our first psalm is one of the most famous psalms in the world. You know, we've talked in the past about how people have different ideas or images of what they think God might be like. God is like a parent. God is like a teacher. God is like a rock. God is like an artist. In this particular psalm, the psalmist imagines God as a shepherd guarding his sheep, his people, his sheep. Let's read it together. God is my shepherd. He leads me in the right direction. And even if I have to walk in a dark place, I'm not scared. I know nothing will hurt me if I walk with God. Another psalm is Psalm 8, and it's a psalm of wonder. It's hard to express wonder these days. We're just wondering if this virus is ever going to end. But soon we'll be able to go outside again to nature, maybe more than just your backyard or the park. Within a few months, maybe we'll be taking summer vacations again, the Grand Canyon, the Jersey Shore, hopefully for me, Vermont, wherever we like to go and experience nature. This particular psalm expresses the feeling of what it's like to look around you and be in wonder at what you see. Psalm 8. People are so small next to you, God. You put the stars and the moon in the sky, and the birds in the air above the cows and horses in the fields, and the fish that swim in the seas. You created all the beauty in the world. I don't know if you can see these pictures. You have a couple of kids just staring at the beauty and the wonders of the world, stars and fish, birds, etc. Our next psalm is a psalm that maybe would comfort us these days. It's very easy to be discouraged and to get sad with being cooped up all the time and wondering when this thing is going to be over. Those same feelings of sadness and fear were things that people felt thousands of years ago. One in particular comes from Psalm 69. When I am sad, it feels like I'm underwater, like I'm stuck in the mud or at the bottom of a dark hole. Pull me from this dark place, God. Save me. I need your help. Maybe that's a feeling that you and I are feeling these days. I love these pictures, by the way. Can you see the little girl right down here with this giant fish, what looks like an octopus, and from an old heart song, Barracuda. Let's read one more. I don't know if you know what the word praise means. I hope you do. The word praise means to express your admiration for something. All of the Psalms are Psalms of praise in one way or another, but some are more about praise than others. One of my favorite Psalms in the world is Psalm 139, and it's a psalm of praise. God, you know me so well. You always know what I'm thinking and feeling. You know what I'm going to say before I say it. Even in the night, you can see me. You know my secrets. You know my fears. I praise you for making me who I am. And once again, beautiful artwork. Whether you're going through times of wonder or praise or sadness or fear or joy, perhaps these psalms can speak to us the way they did to people who were going through these things and writing them thousands of years ago. And maybe we can hold on to that idea that no matter what we're going through, God is with us all the way through our journey. I want to read one more poem for you this morning. It's not a psalm. It's a poem by one of our favorite poets here at Judson, Edward Estelin Cummings, E.E. Cummings. I know many of you love E.E. Cummings. Did you know he used to live just across the street over here, basically around the corner from Judson? He grew up in Massachusetts, but he spent the last 40 years of his life living at 4 Patchen Place, which is, you know where the library is on 6th Avenue with the big tower, the Jefferson Market Library? Right across the street from that, around the corner from Sammy's Noodles, a place I plan to hit as soon as this virus is over. I want to read one poem by him, one of his most famous, called I Carry Your Heart With Me. I carry your heart with me. I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear, and whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. Can you see the elephant with the umbrella? I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud. And the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart. I carry it in my heart. I Carry Your Heart with Me by E.E. Cummings. You know, E.E. Cummings once said, "It takes courage to grow up and become who you really are." Let's finish things off this Sunday, this episode of Virtual Sunday School, by singing the song that we learned last week, "Be Not So Fearful," by Bill Fay, with a couple extra verses written by me, as long as he doesn't mind, I hope. I'm going to talk you through the lyrics. I know you don't have pictures for this. You do have the printed lyrics, but let's see if we can learn this together. The first verse is simply, "Be not so fearful, be not so frail." Remember, frail means sort of like weak or delicate. There's someone watching you. She will not let you fail. Then you repeat the first line twice. Be not so fearful, be not so frail. Be not so fearful, be not so frail. The second verse, "Be not so nervous in these perilous times." Remember, perilous is another word for like dangerous. Someone may look to you in search of the divine, that spark of God in you. Be not so nervous in these times. We'll skip the word perilous the last two times of this verse. Be not so nervous in these times. And then one last verse together. Be of good courage, like E.E. Cummings just said. Be of good courage, you will prevail. The wind is quiet now, but soon will fill your sails. Be of good courage, you will prevail. Be of good courage, you will prevail. And then we'll sing the first verse again. All right, let's try it together. Here we go. Be not so fearful. Be not so fearful. Be not so frail. There's someone watching you. She will not let you fail. Be not so fearful. Be not so frail. Be not so fearful. Be not so frail. The next verse is, be not so nervous in these perilous times. Be not so nervous in these perilous times. Someone may look to you. Someone may look to you in search of the divine. Be not so nervous in these times. Be not so nervous in these times. Our next verse is, be of good courage, you will prevail. The wind is quiet now, but soon will fill your sails. Be of good courage, you will prevail. The wind is quiet now, but soon will fill your sails. Be of good courage, you will prevail. Be of good courage, you will prevail. Let's do the first verse again. Ready? Be not so fearful, be not so frail. There's someone watching you, she will not let you fail. Be not so fearful, be not so frail. Be not so fearful, be not so frail. One last time. Be not so fearful, be not so frail. Be not so fearful. Don't forget to send me your jokes this week. We'll see what we can do about putting them in next week's episode of Virtual Sunday School. So until we meet again virtually, I hope that you have a great week. Study hard virtually. Do all the good things you're supposed to be doing. And know that I carry your heart in mine. And I hope you'll carry my heart in yours. See you next time. Bye-bye.